What's going on, everybody? I'm Jeff Bunka, and I'm the drive coach and an engineering mentor for Team 5895 Petty Robotics. Welcome to Rebuilt Weekly Rundown, where we're going to be highlighting FRC teams from around the world and the progress they're making during this build season. This week, we're focusing on prototyping, so you'll see teams designing, testing, and iterating on mechanisms. We'll also look at early autonomous work and automation ideas teams are exploring as those start to come out as well. Plus, I'll share my insight on how those approaches could help your team. Many of the teams featured are sharing open build blogs through the Open Alliance on Chief Delphi. But if your team has something you want to highlight, post in the comments or head on over to the fun Discord link below and post in the FRC chat so we can check it out and maybe we'll even feature it. Let's dive in. All right, so first team we're going to look at is Team 5000, the Hammerheads out of Hingham, Massachusetts. What's awesome about this robot prototype that we're seeing here is that they're using a pretty simple mechanism. It's a linear slide set. You have two linear slides on the left and right of their test robot here. You'll notice they're running it with one motor, or one drill in this case, but you can do it with one transmission. What I like about this is that they're using a very simple motion to get extension as well as, call it, lifting force or lifting power on their robot. As everybody knows, the rebuilt rules are pretty stringent this year regarding extension. You know, you can only extend up to 12 inches outside of your robot frame or frame perimeter, and you're only allowed to extend outside of your frame perimeter in one direction at any one time. So this is taking advantage of a pretty simple mechanism to address the challenge of a level 1 tower climb. They could use this in autonomous. They could use this in the end game as well to get a bunch of points for their team or their alliance. The one thing to keep in mind, or something to be weary of or mindful of, rather, if you decide to go with something like this for your robot, is that if you do have an expandable intake or an expandable expandable hopper, that would have to extend outside of the same side of the robot as these climber hooks, which could make engagement complicated, or you would need to be able to retract those other assets, that intake or that expandable hopper, if you decide to utilize these climber arms outside of another side of your robot. So super creative and doing multiple things with one, or achieving multiple actions with one mechanism here from the Hammerheads, which is great considering our weight limits this year. Next up, we have Galaxia out of Haifa, Israel. Galaxia is coming in strong with this prototype method. They have a super simple, looks like a single roller over the bumper intake that integrates really cleanly into a potential expandable hopper. Shows great performance characteristics as well. Perfect for a game like Rebuilt. I will point out, this is only, part of the problem, right? You can't just completely, bolt this on your robot and assume you're good to go. You have to figure out how to deal with the deployment and retraction, as well as how to integrate that into your hopper. And similarly to the discussion with the Hammerheads prototype, you need to figure out how to account for climber expansion if you do decide to go for any additional points or ranking point contribution on the tower. The other thing I'll point out is Galaxia actually provided a really great diagram here. So they're showing that one of the biggest challenges with this low to the ground, relatively modest intake style is, while it is really good at picking up game pieces off the floor at a rapid rate in very high density areas, you do have to figure out how to get the game pieces, once they're acquired and over the bumper, lifted up and into some sort of indexer or spindexer, as you can see in this diagram. So an additional challenge there that teams will have to consider. It's not just about getting the ball off the floor, but it's about getting the ball, or I should say the fuel rather, handed off and into a usable location on the robot so that it can be organized and then assumedly, fed to a feeder or a delivery system of some point or some kind. But yeah, excellent starting work from Galaxia on an awesome intake option.
Before we get to our next segment, we'd like to thank the following. Founded by first alumni, FRCTees understands what teams need. High-quality apparel fast. From t-shirts to jackets and more, with a free 14-day turnaround and faster options available, you can join 200-plus teams who are already saving. Get a free quote by scanning the QR code or going to FRCTees.com.
All right, next on our list is Team 4481, Team Rembrandts out of Noord-Brabant, the Netherlands. So Team Rembrandts, they've been a pretty, typical suspect in terms of open alliance and early build season prototyping documentation. They do a great job. The Rembrandts are showing two key mechanisms for indexing this year that are showing really high promising capabilities. So they have a typical, call it washing machine style indexer or spindexer rather, uses a spinning central brush or agitator that shoots game pieces or fuel out tangent to a barrel, to an intake roller or a relay roller there, showing very high rate of fire, very impressive. And probably critical in terms of getting high flow rates to turrets or single wheel shooters, single hood shooters. And then they have another variant of this, which is using a die mechanism. It's a little bit different. It requires a higher or a larger footprint, a larger barrel, but it uses a different mechanism which allows you to essentially funnel the fuel against a static deflector or a static call it cam in the barrel, which then allows those fuel to funnel up a central tower in the center of the barrel versus off to the side of the barrel. This might be something you're interested in if you want your turret or your shooter to be centered on the indexer or the spindexer that you're utilizing. So great early output, great flow rate, great balls per second rate from Team Rembrandts. Nice work. All right, next we have Makers Assemble, Team 5951 out of Tel Aviv, Israel. So Makers Assemble has one of the coolest intake deployment mechanisms in terms of a prototype that I've seen so far this season. They're using what's called a 6-bar, what they're calling a 6-bar mechanism. You can see in these videos, it's designed to efficiently fold up as well as deploy a roller bar intake. In this example, they have a little backer bar there, but at the same time, they have the ability to actively, or I should say passively rather, compress. So this is huge for this game. There's going to be a ton of alliance to alliance interaction, especially in the central zone of the game field for Rebuilt. Red Alliance and Blue Alliance, they're going to be contending for game pieces, very similar to the 2024 crescendo interactions at center field for the notes that were on the center line, especially in autonomous. So having an intake that is efficient and high performing is only so valuable if it isn't designed with longevity and durability in mind. So having a passive call it flexibility integrated into your mechanism like this 6-bar shows is going to be huge and is probably going to be the difference between teams, being high performing and able to play or put up high numbers later in tournaments, while still maintaining the ability to actually perform at those levels, right? Not break down, not have reliability issues, and be those consistent, high performing, reliable robots that everybody wants to be.
Before we get to our next segment, we'd like to thank the following. AndyMark provides superior service and reliability that teams expect at AndyMark.com. From the Robotics Launcher Expansion Kit to the SDS MK4 and 5 Swerve modules, your team can be ready for rebuild. Don't forget to stock up on game-specific elements, bumper kits, and new for 2026 products at AndyMark.com.
All right, next up we have Mechanical Advantage, Team 6328 out of Littleton, Massachusetts. So Mechanical Advantage, another perennial Open Alliance team that does great work throughout the season, especially the build season, documenting their testing and their practice and their development process. Pointing out here, the Mechanical Advantage effort right now is probably one of the most complete efforts that I've seen, at least online so far. They have one of the earliest iterations of a conceptual rebuilt robot outside of the 3-day build teams. They're showing, rapid firing. They have active tracking using a turret, which is very satisfying to watch. It's an awesome video right there, seeing that turret whip around. This is a great concept or a great archetype for teams to emulate. I will say they do have a pretty high level of programming support from what I can tell based on what they've achieved so far. So make sure that you don't overreach and that you are confident you have the ability to achieve something as complex as this in terms of performance. Got to show it as well to cap the end of this episode. The Mechanical Advantage team is the first team to show a rebuilt build that is shooting on the move. It's a little slow on the feed rate side, but I imagine they're already working on increasing that. So really excited to see what teams unlock utilizing functionality and capabilities like this. Keep in mind, you want to make sure that you are right-sizing your approach and your goals for your team's resources, but still a great archetype and a great robot infrastructure to try and emulate. Thanks for watching this Rebuilt Weekly Rundown. If you want to get involved, drop a comment on this video or head to the fun Discord linked in the description and share a cool video or update from your team. We'd love to see it. Make sure you are subscribed to Fun so you do not miss future episodes. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, give the video a like. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay up to date on future fun videos.